Good evening, everyone. Welcome to this other video for the Wrestling Analyst. Tonight, I will look at Raw that took place on October 24th from Charlotte, North Carolina, the Queen City. Show starts with Judgment Day coming to the ring. They revel in Dominic's victory over AJ Styles, and they proceed to say that he's the greatest luchador of all time, and so they just continue to disrespect Rey Mysterio because that's a direct reference to him. Dom says he's a generational talent, and Eddie Guerrero, he's this time's Eddie Guerrero, and then he goes, no. Eddie Guerrero was his time's Dominic Mysterio, so he's just like reveling in his glory and believing his own hype. Let's just say it like that. Now the original club, AJ, Gallows, and Anderson come out, and they tell AJ tells Dominic to shut up. He shouldn't compare himself to his father or Eddie, for that matter. And then Carl Anderson just says, "Hey Finn, let's fight right now." Blah blah blah. So after the break, we come back with first match: Finn Balor versus Carl Anderson. Good match. Carl Anderson coming back 2 weeks ago. First singles match, very good psychology in it. At one point, Dominic distracts the referee, which starts a flurry of blows outside, ending with Rhea pushing Gallows in the post and just body slamming him. When I saw that, I was like, oh my fucking God. I knew Ripley was powerful, but man. And I just love, I'll say it again, I just love what they're doing with Rhea Ripley and Judgment Day. Right now, even though it's like Finn is the leader of Judgment Day, I'm ready to say that Rhea Ripley is the MVP of Judgment Day. She is coming into her own in there. She is so good in her persona, and you always know something's gonna happen when she's in there. And now I just love Rhea's role in Judgment Day. Man, I just can't get around that she body slammed a almost 300-pound man. I know how to do a body slam, of course, but I know he helped himself, Gallows, but man, she had to hold him up and slam him anyway. It's just like she was doing like that. No, she held him up a bit and boom. It's like, wow. A lot of power from Rhea, and like I say, she's the MVP of Judgment Day. Finn wins because right after that, Rhea enters the ring while Dominic is distracting the referee again, and she gives a low blow to Anderson. Finn takes the pin right there. So once again, Rhea is the MVP of Judgment Day. Now, after that match, we have a segment backstage where Gargano and Miz meet, and Miz wants to know what Gargano knows, and then Gargano just said, "Well, you know, Miz." "No, I don't know because there's nothing to know. So why do you want to know what I know if there's nothing to know?" And then Miz got kind of confused or whatever, and Miz says, "Well, I'm gonna go tell the truth in the ring." So he goes in the ring, and tells his truth. And he says, so Gargano comes out, says he's going to blow the whistle on Miz. And Miz says, I'm going to tell truth. But then R-Truth comes out. It's like that was a little bit funny there. After a bit of funny promo, Miz challenges R-Truth to a match. So match number 2, R-Truth and Miz do their match. And R-Truth wins the match with a roll-up after Miz thinks he sees Dexter Lumis in the crowd. But you just see a hooded figure with gloves and everything. And so he's sure he's seen Dexter Lumis. So he loses the match, and then after that he looks at Dexter Lumis. The man takes off his hoodie, and it's Gargano. So Gargano just pulled a fast one on Miz there. So that match, there was not really anything. It was just to further the storyline between Gargano, Dexter Lumis, and Miz. There was no real how can I say that? In French, we say un enjeu. There was no real. Anyway, maybe the word is going to come back to me, but there was no real impact for the match. As for Balor and Anderson, it was just to build momentum towards Crown Jewel. So that was basically the goal of the match. Balor and Anderson was to build momentum for one of the teams going to the Crown Jewel. Then we have a backstage interview with Candice LeRae, which Bayley, Damage Control interrupt, and they just proceed to beat up Candice. We don't see anything, so probably they were just making noise in the back, and which we couldn't see. But right now it's like Candice is injured, just like Alexa Bliss, just like Asuka, just like Becky Lynch, which Damage Control claims that they all took them out. They put them on the shelves. So then we see Elias meets with Riddle, which has his bongos, and he still wants to play with Elias. It's pretty hilarious, by the way. And then you see Alpha Academy come, and that finishes with Elias issuing a challenge to Chad Gable. Match number 3. Austin Theory versus Mustafa Ali. Now, Theory has been on the losing end of numerous matches lately. Mustafa Ali wants to establish himself as a contender for the U.S. title, and he's been a thorn on Seth Rollins' side for a while now, for a couple of weeks now. Well, last week and this week. And Theory, he wants to get back on the winning track because he's Mr. Money in the Bank. He's the youngest ever U.S. champion, and so they both come out, and then Seth Rollins' music hits the PA, and he just comes to a commentary. Now, Rollins goes to distract the referee when Ali goes for the 450 splash to end the match. Theory kicks the rope and gives him the A-Town down for the win. So, good win for Austin Theory, which puts him back on track on his winning ways. After the match, Rollins attacks Ali, and he says to Ali, "You don't belong in the same ring with me." And when Seth goes to the back, Ali comes back and attacks him, and they get separated by the referees. Now, we didn't have an announcement yet if this match is going to take place at Crown Jewel. We'll see. I'm not sure if Ali can go there or whatever, but no announcement has been made yet for this match when it's going to take place, Ali versus Rollins. And then we have a segment backstage again, Gargano, Miz. Then Miz just takes off, and you see Corbin with JBL saying, JBL says to Gargano, you have to respect Hall of Famers, blah, 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 blah. And that segment finishes with Corbin challenging Gargano to a match. You have match 4. Now, Omos versus 4 jobbers. They didn't even give their names, so I would have noted their names, but I haven't heard them at all. And once again, a lot of respect for the independent wrestlers. I was one. Never made a match in WWE. Would have been a dream of mine, but it was not to be. I was not the kind of physical specimen that they take for those kind of matches anyway. And there were wrestlers a lot better than me in the province of Quebec to do this role anyway. So Omos wins in dominating fashion, and then they go talk about Braun Strowman, because we all know now that Omos and Braun Strowman are going to face off each other at Crown Jewel on November 5th. Then match number 5. Elias' first match since his comeback. So you basically knew he was going to win. And Chad Gable, once again, he plays putting over new guys like they did 2 weeks ago, last week I mean, with the OC, him and Otis. They put over the OC, Gallows and Anderson. So now he just did the same Monday for Elias. He put him over just to make him win, let him win his first match back. There's not really any issues or any impact on each other, except that Elias wins his first match. Match number 6, Gargano Corbin. Corbin wins the match thanks to JBL's interference, and Gargano looked very good in the match. And why JBL's interference is in order that Gargano doesn't lose any momentum, any credibility, because he did lose because of JBL's interference. So Corbin gets the win, which is a good thing for him. And Gargano loses because of outside interference. So he doesn't lose anything credibility-wise. So we have a segment backstage. Miz comes to Gargano. So we saw a lot of Miz Gargano there, interactions during the show, all to further advance the storyline between Miz, Gargano, and Dexter Lumis. Now, Miz gives a get well soon card to Gargano for Candice. So we know that Candice is injured for now, storyline wise. And Miz basically tells Gargano, let's put all this behind us. And Gargano says, well, the only way we're going to put this behind us is if you tell the truth. And if you don't do it, I'm going to do it next week. So we know that next week we gotta watch Raw again to know what the hell is the story between Miz and Dexter Loomis, and what does Gargano know. So, like I said last week, it reminds me a little bit of a storyline back in NXT with Nikki Cross when Gargano attacked Aleister Black, and Aleister Black didn't know who attacked him, and then you had Nikki Cross who knew, and the crowd was chanting, "Nikki's got a secret," but it's a little bit like that, the storyline, I think. Maybe the crowd's going to chant next week, "Johnny's got a secret." We don't know, but anyway. So that storyline is advancing at a fast pace. So my guess is that Miz and Dexter Loomis are going to face off. Maybe not at Crown Jewel. I doubt that. But maybe at, I think it's TLC, if they still have the same name. Pay-per-view, the premium live event in December. Or maybe at Survivor Series. Don't know. Maybe there's going to be a match there with that. So, main event of the evening, Bayley versus Bianca Belair. Now, Bayley needs the victory to stay in the title picture. She put herself back in the title picture by attacking Bianca Belair and Candice LeRae last week, but she needs the victory to build up her credibility again. Now she's the target of Bianca Belair. Bianca Belair wants to put Bayley in the rearview mirror with a win. So Bianca hits the KOD. There's no referee, and referee got knocked out outside the ring, and Nikki Cross interferes in the match. Now at first we didn't know it was her because we just saw somebody come off the top rope right on to Damage Control and the referee. Bayley wins the match after Cross puts her finisher on Belair. That kind of a swing pendulum neck breaker that Cross does as a finisher. And so you think maybe that Nikki Cross comes back as a heel persona. Bayley celebrates her win. She leaves the ring, and then she doesn't even have time to leave the ring. Nikki Cross attacks Bayley as well. So Nikki Cross is not a face. She's not a heel. She's coming back to that old Nikki Cross crazy persona, which I approve 100% because that was the best Nikki Cross we've ever seen. Nikki ASH, over. No more. And that's a good thing. No more Nikki ASH. That was the lamest persona. She tried her best to put that persona over, but come on. We had superheroes persona in the back in the past with Hurricane Helms and Mighty Molly and Rosie, which was a superhero in training back then. That was so hilarious back then. But Nikki, with Nikki ASH, almost a superhero. Unfortunately, never worked. They even gave her a title to try to build her credibility, but no one ever took her seriously in that role. So, big change for Nikki Cross. I'm happy about it. Nikki Cross, like I said, she's coming back with her, like her Sanity Days gimmick there. She's not all there right now, so good thing. We're going to see how it goes. And right off the bat, knocking out Belair and knocking out and attacking Bailey and leave her in the ring, knocked out and everything. That is huge for Nikki Cross right now. So that's a big credibility boost for Nikki. So look for Nikki to have a couple of matches where she's going to win her next few matches to further establish herself. So that's it for this video. Hope you liked it. Leave a like, subscribe, comment, and turn on notification bells. And I'll come back during the weekend for the SmackDown analysis. Have a nice evening. Bye-bye.